Good evening. Welcome to another Tuesday evening Spiritual Mind Healing Service coming to you from the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living here in Kingston, Jamaica. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, as we begin always, let us open with an opening treatment, and then we'll move right into my short presentation. Please join me. Take a deep breath in. Close your eyes if you would like to, prefer to. Breathe in and exhale. And in and exhale. One last time. In and exhale. And in this present moment, we are aware that there is one power, one presence, one intelligence, one life. This is the life that we live. This is the life in which we are immersed and empowered by infinite intelligence, guided by divine love, and supported always by that divine presence which we call God. In this awareness now, I give thanks for the knowing that right where we are in our rightful place, doing exactly what it is you're intended to do at this moment. This moment is perfect. We live it, we love it, embrace it, we allow it to be our moment now. We open our minds, we open our hearts, and we let the love, we let the light, let the fluid wash over. And it's actually divine now into that God that is already working. And so it is.
Yeah, Karen.
And now my presentation this evening. If you all watch the email, you know my title this evening is Channeling Badass Esther. There are only two women who managed to make it into the King James Version with their books. Esther and Ruth. Two very different women, two very different set of circumstances, requiring two very different approaches. Focus on Esther this evening. Who was Esther? She was a beautiful Israelitish orphan who became Queen of Persia. Now she replaced Queen Vashti, who was deposed for refusing to obey the king's order to appear unveiled before the princes and the people. She didn't want to be objectified. Now Vashti's refusal was seen as a direct affront to the king. How she mean to diss the king in this manner? Next thing, all the women in Persia will think it's okay to disobey their husbands. Can't have that. Send her packing. Enter Esther, also very beautiful, and who finds favor with the king, who decides to make her queen. Him did love her bad. She also turns out to be quite defiant, but in a different way. Whereas Vashti's defiance was ego-driven, Esther was acting on purpose for a larger cause. She, with her cousin Mordecai, was instrumental in saving hundreds, if not thousands, of lives of the Jewish people in Persia. Her defiance was born out of a desire to help. So how did Esther manage to convince the king to do her bidding? She was charged by Mordecai, her cousin, to go to the king and begged for the Jewish people to be spared.
They never did that, yeah.
But there was a law which denied entrance to the king without summons, even if you were the queen, on pain of death even. So she, Esther, was willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for the greater good. In the book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 16.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, this man. Don't do that, man.
She says, I will go to the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. End quote. She was well aware of the possible consequences of her actions. She was willing to take the risk. She was going to do it scared, but with boldness and courage. Never let them see you sweat. After all, as Mordecai had told her in Esther chapter 4, verse 14, and who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? What if this is your season? What if this is your mission? So what did Esther do? She formulated a plan to beat the wicked Haman. This is the king's right-hand man who was going to obliterate the Jews and Mordecai as well. So she was going to beat him at his own game. He didn't know this. Was she being manipulative or wise? You know, Dr. Elma always used to tell us, you have to be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. So what did she do? She put on her finest royal clothes and presented herself unsummoned to the king to make her petition. She knew her personal power as the king's favorite. And as a devout Jew, she also trusted in a greater power. So she sent instructions to all the Jews in the province to fast and pray for 3 days, night and day, and that she and her maidens would do the same before presenting herself to the king. The fasting represents abstinence from all error thinking, a denial of all selfishness in the expression of love. And it was love that motivated Esther. It was love that fueled Esther's courage, love for her people. According to the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, King Ahasuerus of Persia represents ambition influenced by sense consciousness. Queen Esther, on the other hand, represents the power of love to win over will and the desire for domination. Not only were the laws revoked, this is the laws that were to eliminate the Jews, but the consciousness of hate, which was demonstrated by Haman, this consciousness was totally destroyed through the elimination of Haman and his sons. So what lessons can we learn from Esther? First, be humble. Now, humility does not equate with weakness or meekness. Okay? She didn't find favor with the king by pretense or greed. She was just who she was. The king, she was willing to take a risk. Now, the first risk is always the hardest, because we must admit that something needs to change. If you're perfectly happy the way things are, there would be no need for change. Now, Esther was bold in her choices. But as Mordecai reminded Esther, if you do nothing, you endanger the lives of the Jewish people and yourself. Finding favor with the king is no guarantee for your safety. So, whatever you're called to do, do it, even if you have to do it afraid. There is a purpose to why you are chosen to do what you are chosen to do, your calling. Third, always look to the bigger picture. It's not always about you. What can you do to lovingly support an idea that's greater than your individual story? Think about it. What actions are you willing to take? Your actions are usually driven and directed by your ideals, your code of ethics. Do you know what that is? Do you know what drives you? Are you willing to put it all on the line and stick your neck out for the greater good? That's what Esther chose to do. If you have to meet a challenge, formulate a bold plan and follow through with confidence and clarity. We are told the king represents sense consciousness. That means he's governed by the sensual, the five senses. Then you have to approach the king in a way that gets his attention. The king is the absolute supreme ruler. What is the most difficult challenge you're facing now that represents your king experience? Esther dressed in her finest for her audience with the king. She approached as worthy of his attention. Do you feel worthy and capable to face whatever challenge is in front of you? Think of it this way. If you weren't ready to face the challenge, the universe would not have presented it to you at this time. So what if now is the time and you are the right person? Will you step up and do what's necessary for your own growth and possibly for the universal good? In the 10 chapters of the book of Esther, Esther was asked 5 times by the king, what do you want? How can I assist? Clarity got her the results that she desired. You know, if you're asked, what do you want? And you're wishy-washy about what you want, then guess what? They're going to get wishy-washy results. You have to be clear and definite about what it is that you want. Not necessarily how you're going to get it, but you need to be clear about what it is that you want. The king will figure out how to make it happen. That king is your supreme intelligence. Okay? I want you to affirm. I have a few here. You can write them down if you like. I'm not going to attempt to put them in the chat because I'm not on my computer. I'll just say them slowly. Affirm. I boldly choose courage over fear. I boldly choose courage over fear and faith over circumstance. Okay, I'll say it again. I boldly choose courage over fear and faith over circumstance. Another, I am confident and competent to achieve great things, to fulfill my purpose. You know, I heard something recently that struck a chord with me. You know, everybody's always talking, oh, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? And the person said, when your skill set aligns with your passion, you have found your purpose. Okay? Make that another affirmation. Okay? My skill set aligns perfectly with my passion. Therefore, I am on purpose. Another one, you want to hear that one again? I can't remember. It was my skill set aligns perfectly with my passions, and so I am on purpose. I release my fear of fear. And that's one of the biggest fears that we have. I release my fear of fear. I am poised, peaceful, passionate, and on purpose. Again, I am poised, peaceful, passionate, and on purpose. Our Declaration of Principles states, I need the glasses for this one. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. And this mind is our mind. Believe in the control of conditions through the power of our mind, which is God mind. And so it is. Namaste. And there you have it. Are there any comments? Anything you'd like to share
Carol,
in the chat?
yes, Carol. Dawn here. I've been hearing this thing about finding one's calling. So does it mean if I haven't found it, it means I might be looking in the wrong direction? Or,
It means to stop looking.
or maybe to stop looking.
Let it find you.
Let it find me.
Let it find you.
Okay. Because I've been hearing so much about this, so I was writing down all of what you just said, the affirmations, and I said, well, maybe I'm not doing something. I don't know. I honestly don't know. All right. Well, I'll keep in mind what you just said.
Yeah. You know what I got from the quotation that I mentioned about when your skill set aligns with your passion.
Right. Uh-huh.
Is that we're always thinking of finding our purpose as this great something that we'll never access. This is this pseudo uber spiritual thing that we're never gonna find it. But it's not. We all have within us what is required for us to fulfill our purpose. And I just keep telling myself, if I'm still breathing, then I have a purpose. And it doesn't have to be highfalutin. It means I'm still here. So therefore, I am still important to this thing called life.
Yeah. I actually went and got my Bible, which I've not looked in God knows how long. I found the book of Esther.
Yes.
to see what I might get from there. But I've enjoyed it totally. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Okay. Anyone else? Not seeing any. We can move into our prayer requests if there are no more comments.
Carol, hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jen.
No, I thank you for the affirmations. And for me, what the last one you gave about I let go the fear of fear.
Mm-hmm.
It's always something that I ponder a lot because it takes courage to face your fears, and therefore to be as bold as Esther was. Definitely, you would have to be courageous, confident, all the things that you shared with us. So I thank you for those affirmations.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You said I was going to call it channeling your badass Esther.
Well, truly, yeah.
Because we all have that. We all have it, but we are sometimes too afraid to acknowledge it.
Yes. Thank you.
To feel the fear and do it anyway, right?
Yes. I know I have a book with that title. Yes, I know that one. Yes. Thank you.
Welcome.
I don't know if you all can hear me. This is Sandy. in the background somewhere. Hi. One can feel fear about one set of circumstances and be perfectly confident in another. I know that I experience the paradox of fear and confidence all the time. You know, there are some clients that I am absolutely at ease with, and in fact, you know, I'm just in my element. And then there are other clients that say, oh my God, you know, how can I speak to this person? He or she is so important. And then I diminish myself. So it's just to realize that God doesn't go up and down and change according to the weather. God is constant and consistent, and so am I.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, and Esther, even though she was queen, she really was not allowed to have any audience with the king unless he called her. So that was a very bold move.
Holy boldness.
Holy boldness. It was a bold, badass move. She says, I'm going to talk to the king, whether he wants to talk to me or not. Right? On pain of death. I'm going to talk to the king and he's going to listen. Because after she done talk what she had to talk, he said, okay, what can I do? What do you want me to do?
What is a closed mouths don't get fed?
That's right. Okay. Everybody is so full, them don't need no treatment.
Treatment, please, for for healthy, health in every whole body, and
Okay.
love. My usual two.
Okay.
Thank you.
Treatment of health for Jen as well.
All right.
For pain. Thank you. Pain in my hand.
Pain in your hand.
Yes, please.
What do you use your hand to do?
It's one of those pains that would go usually when I would travel a lot and carry the bags. And then I noticed it came back the other day. Can't tell you what I've done. So, yes.
Okay. Well, it's health, but why I asked you what you use the hand for is
Mhm.
because, oops,
It's my dominant hand too.
yes. So therefore, it is more than just carrying the suitcase, but you
That-
have to deal with what it is that you're holding on to and causing your hand pain.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
It's not about the suitcase. Leighton. I'm writing these down here.
On this journey. Guidance and peace in this journey.
Wait. Okay, so health for Jennifer and
Guidance for hopeful one.
that's
That's
Yvonne.
Yvonne.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Dawn was love vessel. Okay. I'm going to start with guidance because that is the intelligence that you're calling into being for all the other stuff that's going on. So this is a treatment of guidance, divine guidance for Nadine, for Leighton, for Yvonne, and for Sandra. There is one intelligence which we call God, which is the spirit of divine guidance. This guidance now makes itself present in the experience of Nadine, of Leighton, of Yvonne, and of Sandra, right here and right now, at this moment in time, and on whichever path they are treading right now. I'm knowing that this path is lit with an eternal light that glows from within this consciousness of divine guidance. There is no obstacle on this pathway. There is no way to set a foot wrong on this pathway. There is only intelligence and right decisions to be made on this path. We are rooted in divine intelligence. We are intelligent beings. Therefore, we act intelligently, knowing that we are acting with the divine intelligence that is inherent in us. We came equipped with it. We acknowledge this and we allow it now to guide our every thought, our every word, our every deed, so that our purpose is fulfilled brilliantly on this path, at this plane, at this time. I know this to be the truth for Nadine, for Leighton, for Yvonne, for Sandra, and for anyone else who is tuned into the idea of divine guidance, divine intelligence, that oneness with that power and that presence that knows all and is even now directing all. Every idea that is needed is presented now in a way that is easy, effortless, and can be acted upon immediately with full confidence of the right and perfect outcome. For this, I truly give thanks, and I release these words now into that infinite and absolute law that has already made it so. And so it is. Amen. This is an affirmative prayer of health for Jennifer and for Dawn, and for anyone else who is tuned in to the idea of health. As we breathe in this moment, we are breathing in the perfect life of God, that powerful presence which infills every cell, every tissue, every function and action of our physical, mental, emotional bodies. Health is ours by divine right, because we are already whole. We are already complete in our divinity. And we recognize this wholeness as the health of our bodies, the health of our minds, the health of our situations and circumstances. Any obstacle to the demonstration of this health that may present itself is effectively and permanently eliminated, so that all that remains is a definite knowing that health is our divine expression. With this knowing, then, every thought that we think is health. Every word that we speak of health. Every action that we take, we surround it and express health. Every breath that we breathe is the health that is being circulated throughout our bodies. Our cells receive this health and rejoice in the knowing in every cell, tissue, function, and organ that wellness, wholeness is now active in our bodies and in our bodies of affairs. Knowing this, we simply allow, we immerse ourselves in this knowing and allow health and wholeness to be our demonstrated result. We are healthy. We are whole. We are well. We give thanks for this knowing. I declare in this moment, health is ours now. We demonstrate this with ease, with effortless ease, and with confidence. And everything is in perfect working order, mentally, physically, emotionally. All discord of every nature is dissolved and banished into the nothingness from whence it came. We are the health of God expressing now. I give thanks for this knowing, and I release these words into that infinite and perfect law of wholeness, wellness, and health. I give thanks that all this is now so. So it is.
And so it is.
And our last but not least, our treatment of, I'm going to do peace and love at the same time. How's that? Because you can't have one without the other. Peace and love. Peace and love. There was a song that we did, remember? Peace and love.
That's the Rasta beats.
Yes, we did it for the emancipation and the anyhow a few years ago. Yeah. So peace and love. What a joy to know that peace and love are present in our experience always. And so now we choose to acknowledge this presence and to be present to it, to make ourselves available to it. Peace and love are what we are what we demonstrate, because we are the way that God demonstrates peace and love. In order to live peace and love, we require this not just for ourselves, but it is a shared activity. So we joyfully share peace and love with everyone who comes into contact, everyone who enters our atmosphere, feels this peace, embraces this love, and knows without a shadow of a doubt that they are in the presence of a loving, peaceful, compassionate soul presence. What we do, how we do what we do, is what happens when we allow God to express as us, in us, through us. So we let the peace and we let the love that is in us, as us, find its perfect expression as we release it into the atmosphere to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper everyone who comes into contact with us. We are peaceful because we are peace-filled. We are loving because we are created out of love. Therefore, there is only peace and only love to be expressed through us. We open ourselves now and allow this peace and this love to flow freely, to circulate freely in us, as us, and to flow freely from us, so that the whole world is engulfed and embraced and immersed in this peace and this love. We give thanks for this. And we know that this peace and this love is transformative in a world that hungers and thirsts for peace and love. So I release these words now, confident and clear that they are already being manifest in every situation, in every circumstance, in every heart, peace and love is. Because we are. I give thanks for this knowing. And I release this now so that the law can do its perfect work with peace and with love. Thank you, God, that all this is not so. So it is.
And so it is. Thank you. Thank you.
I think I've seen something for, this, Nadine.
I included her already.
Okay. Well, Francis saying you would sing this with peace and love.
Yes, they did a version, that's true.
With a Rasta version. I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I believe that's it. So we can move now into our prayer of Jamaica.
Announcement.
No, we have the announcements first. Oh, Vance, you have the slides. Vance, you got the slides for the announcements?
Yes, yes, yes.
What is that?
But can we see them? I should ask if there's anybody new on here. I should. But if you're not new, you heard these already. But you can hear them again.
Put it on full screen, Vance.
Vance? Oh. Well, I'll read it in the meantime. You know, we have started a free legal advice clinic on Saturdays at the temple. And this has been going on for about a month now. So you got questions? Every Saturday we have an in-house attorney. And this Saturday, our attorney will be Zari. Zari Saunders, and she'll be there Saturday, June the 22nd from 11 until 1. And this is free. Can't get any better than that. She's giving her services for free. So if you have any questions, come and get some answers. Vance, can put these on full screen, please. And also spread the word, because this is available not just to temple people, but it's available to anyone in the community and wider who may need some legal advice. Thank you. Well, we'll do it anyway. Click again. Okay. On this Thursday, at what time is the class? At 7. But this Thursday, no, this Thursday isn't the last Thursday. Thursday, Reverend Sonia, with the assistance of Steve Golding and Vance Gardner, practitioners, facilitates a CSL accredited class, Consciousness and the Creative Process. You can still register for the class. You're not allowed to miss more than 3 classes if you're taking it as an accredited program. If you're not taking it as an accredited class, you can still register, but try not to miss any. It's very rich with information for everybody. Also on Thursday in the morning, started on June the 13th, there's a 4-week book study with the book titled The Power of TED. That is the empowerment dynamic. This is with Reverend Michelle at the temple in person from 11 until 1. Years as the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living. It means that we're grown up. Sunday, July the 7th, we'll be celebrating our anniversary, our 43rd anniversary. Our special guest speaker will be our own beloved Reverend John Scott, who will be bringing the message. And he will be assisted by our senior minister, Reverend Michelle Senegal. As usual, we are asking you to bring gifts of food, toiletries, other stuff, groceries that we can distribute to the charities that are listed here. The YWCA, Missionaries of the Poor, and the Jamaica National Children's Home. They are always very appreciative of the gifts that we provide. So,
Go down to country and bring all
yes,
the banana
and the
yam and
breadfruit
everything.
and thing. Yeah,
Want to fill up the stage at the temple.
yes, it's called, look at it as our harvest celebration. And following that Sunday, the next Saturday, continuing our celebration, we're having an anniversary family fun day. Quick again, Vance. This will be Saturday, July the 13th. We'll be doing a tour of Trident Castle, and we have swimming at Frenchman's Cove. This is Portland, though. Yes. You all know Portland is a very pretty parish. This trip, which includes the round trip transportation, lunch, entrance fee to Trident Castle and Frenchman's Cove. Swimming at Frenchman's Cove, it's a mere $8,700 per person, and children under 12 is $7,600 for a full day of fun at the temple. Not at the temple, sorry. At Trident Castle and Frenchman's Cove. I didn't mention that you need to commit to this trip by the 30th, which is next week, Sunday, and you need to pay by the 7th of July. Okay. Now, next week, next Tuesday, June 26th, join us again for a spiritual mind healing service with practitioner Sandra Cooper, who is here with me on, on screen today. So tune in again next week. And that's, if you feel moved to support our ministry, you know that your tithes and your donations are what keep us going. So feel free to donate at donate.templeoflightcsl.org. And as usual, we are forever grateful for your generosity and for helping us to be a beacon of light for the world as we seek to create a world that works for everyone. And now, if you have some donations ready, if you're ready to donate online, let us say the affirmation. Lovingly I give, joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. Thank you, Father. So it is. And now for the prayer of our center. And don't just rattle it off. Say it like you mean it. The Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God, and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is. Another prayer of Jamaica. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island, Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life which set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established. And so it is. And now for our closing affirmative prayer. As we breathe in all the good from this evening, all the light, all the love, all the peace, all the joy, all the wisdom, we give thanks. We give thanks for the opportunity to share and to express as all that we are, being all that God is. So we give thanks. And we know that right where we are in our right place, doing exactly what is right for each one of us individually and for the whole world collectively. We lift our consciousness to that high plane of knowing, and we lift everyone with us so that the whole world is lifted up to a higher place in consciousness, recognizing its fullness, its divinity, and its light. For this, we truly give thanks as we leave this place this evening for our several and separate destinations and activities. We go as one, we go as God, and we let that power and that presence that is God find its perfect expression in us, as us now. Giving thanks that this is now so. And so it is. Ta-ta.
So it is. Thank you, Carol.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, very much.